Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Let's have a very practice-oriented discussion today. And it's worth, again, taking a pause out of the text of A Course in Miracles to address the topic of consistency on the path. As with any other endeavor in life, consistency matters a lot. It really, really does. And it's true in any arena that we find ourselves in life. So why should it not also apply to our spiritual practice, especially of a self-study curriculum like this? So we're talking persistence, we're talking habit and routine, and the need for all of these, because the issue that arises, and it may be front and center for you today, and perhaps it was at one point in time, maybe not yet, I don't know, wherever you happen to find yourself, it's an important consideration because there are many people that tell me that they can't do this course. I've heard that a lot, an awful lot, with many, many different reasons why not. Same result, people don't think that they're capable of handling this. Well, of course you're capable of handling it. If you were not, you would not be watching this. You would not be a course student if you're a course student. You would not be drawn or attracted to this if you weren't 100% capable of doing this course, learning it, and waking up to the truth of who, what, and where you are. And you do know where that is. We all do, all of us. It's why we're on the spiritual path in the first place, because we know there's something else to it. There's more to it than meeting the needs of this and eating and washing the dishes, which I have to do when this video is over. Don't worry, it doesn't mean that I'm going to speak for 1 hour. I'll be much more brief than that. I just forgave the sink full of dishes. I mean, what's coming up for forgiveness in your experience? I don't know. Consistency is really, really important here. As students of the course, understand that you can do this or you would not be reading through this. So, what I can offer to help you is just a brief conversation about consistency, persistency, and habits. This is a course in mind training, so it is about retraining ourselves. We have been conditioned to see things as they are not. This course aims to turn that perception right side up. It is upside down. This course is a course in mind training. We're changing our mind and we're learning to see things as they really are. Once we do that, truth dawns of itself. That's enlightenment, awakening. But we must first fully 100% clarify our perception. This course will help you do that, and it may help you to do this very quickly. How quickly? I don't know. Well, a large part of that is up to you. So I will share with you what I have found very helpful, and that is routine. Routine, because this is a self-study curriculum, we need to expose ourselves to the ideas of A Course in Miracles all of the time. That's why when you go through the workbook for students, whether you have or have not, or whether you've done it more than once, it's systematic. And start at lesson one, and it's maximum one lesson per day. Do not attempt any more than that. I have had people say to me in 60 or 90 days, hey, I did the workbook in 90 days. No, you didn't. I mean, really, I have had people say that to me. I mean, it makes sense considering people's attitude sometimes here in the world, doesn't it? That's really the only thing that approaches a dictate or a mandate in the course is if you're doing the workbook, one lesson per day maximum. And then it has practice periods, which are in fact short meditations, suggestions for practice, explanation of the idea, some of which may seem highly bizarre, esoteric, and downright weird. And they may not have, in your mind, anything to do with spirituality at all at first glance, but you simply go through the exercises. It's systematic. So, too, our practice should be systematic, but going through A Course in Miracles, which is a self-study curriculum, is a lot like being self-employed in the world. Perhaps you are, or you have been, or you know people who are, that don't have a boss, they don't have a top-down hierarchical structure, and they don't have to show up at a given hour for work. They're accountable to themselves. Course in Miracles. It's a lot like being self-employed. So, what helps? Routine. The more we expose ourselves to the ideas, the better. And the more that we practice them, the better. And that is very, very important because this course is about practical application. When you think about it, we always learn the best through experience. We do. Spirituality, in fact, no matter what tradition it is that we're talking about, it's all about practical experience. So, what we do is the more that we expose ourselves through our own reading, through our own watching of videos like this, through our own practice, the more we expose ourselves to the ideas in A Course in Miracles, the more likely we are to do what really matters, and that's put them into practice. This is where the real learning takes place, because when you practically apply these ideas in your day-to-day life, and I promise you, you've got lots and lots of opportunities for that. When you do that, your experience proves to you the truth of the ideas. It shows you, demonstrates to you that they're true. It's visceral, it's experiential, it's the best form of learning possible. And there's no getting around that. So, how do we make sure we're doing it? Consistency, persistency, and routine. Routine, routine, routine. It sounds like life, right? Sounds like business building, sounds like working on relationships. Oh, yeah, your health, yeah, sounds like life. It's really important. And in the study and practice of A Course in Miracles, it's very, very important to expose ourselves to this material over and over again, because the more we do, the more likely we'll be to practice it. The more motivated and inspired we'll be to practice it too, for sure. So, unless I'm getting up very early in the morning to catch a flight somewhere or to drive a car somewhere, I have a routine in which reading A Course in Miracles and journaling is part of that routine every day. In fact, you can start by making a connection to the Holy Spirit before you even get out of bed in the morning. You could do something along the lines of giving this day over to the Holy Spirit, inviting Him to direct your forgiveness. Say that the goal of this day is truth, whatever you are inspired to do. I do that every day. It's very powerful. It, in fact, sets the tone. So the course is part of my daily coffee routine. And often my wife, Cindy, and I, she has the same routine. So often we'll get into some form of conversation about the course and about the ideas expressed herein. And when I record videos such as this one, it's almost always right after this coffee, meditation, journaling time that's sacred. And well, it's worth getting up early in order to accomplish. Of course, unless I'm catching an early flight or hitting the road because I've got a long drive somewhere. It's really been a very powerful, beneficial experience for me because it sets the mind, to me, it sets my mind up for the day. And the more I connect with the course, and I've found this the entire time I've studied it, which has been over 10 years now, the more apt I am to remember to forgive, for sure. Because we all forget, we all miss opportunities all the time, but it's like a living, breathing, waking meditation practice. As soon as you remember that you're carried away judging somebody, bring your awareness back to forgiveness of the Son of God. Right? The more you expose yourself through your own habit and routine, the more likely you'll be to remember to forgive, to remember to ask the Holy Spirit for guidance, to give situations over to Him and let Him resolve them. Yeah. While we relax and trust and then do as instructed, because we'll know it's the Holy Spirit for sure. The more we practice, the easier it gets. Why? Because it becomes habit. Forgiveness becomes habit. Giving situations over to the Holy Spirit becomes habit. When things become habit, you don't see things the same way ever again. You may know that from your own experience. I certainly know that from mine. Yeah, yeah. So, whatever cultivating a routine looks like for you. It might be at night or it might be in the middle of the afternoon. I don't know what your day to day schedule looks like, but it's very important because you can do this course. I know that you can. You wouldn't be here otherwise. I also know that moments of doubt come up a lot. And perhaps you're experiencing one of these. And if you are, I hope that you've found these past few minutes very helpful as a practical matter. So, whatever it looks like to get into some kind of a routine or a habitual practice for you, do that. And if you're not sure, ask the Holy Spirit, what better thing could you possibly do than to check in with your inner teacher for guidance? He knows. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, really. And when you notice yourself, if you're a person that finds that they become bored with stuff, forgive that. There's something else there. There's something underneath the veneer of I'm bored. It's fear, fear of awakening. So simply recognize it for what it is, forgive and release it. It is the underlying reason behind anything that people tell me is going on the surface of life for why they can't do this course. Oh, you can. The ideas are simple. Remember, we add all the complications ourselves, and they're 100% unnecessary. So, resistance to this takes many forms, doesn't it? But this awareness, the present moment awareness that comes from routine and structure and habit and diligence, discipline, oh my God, yeah, discipline and persistence with this pays off when you're able to recognize these upsets for what they are, forgive them, release them to the Holy Spirit. The more you do that, the better. You won't see things the same way ever again. Be happy about that. Perhaps you know because you've been doing it. All right. So I hope that this has been of some value to you as a practical matter. It's worth having these practice centered conversations from time to time here, for sure. So, yeah, I would strongly consider asking the Holy Spirit if you don't have a routine, what would help you commit to this? What would help you stick to this? What would help you to forgive as much as you possibly can? All right. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Here's the subscription prompt, by the way. If you haven't joined us, do that, please. That's the subscription arrow. You'll be invited to join us when you click that. Several videos appear each week, and your questions are always more than welcome. So if you've got them, please feel welcome to leave them here. The comment thread right here on YouTube's the perfect place for that. And, well, yeah, I very much appreciate your being here. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all very soon.